What's up, folks? In this video, I want to go over the level 2 and the time and sales and how you can use them to gain additional edge over other traders who may not be using these tools. Today was a great example on VVOS. So we're going to take a look at VVOS. I'm going to show you some pretty interesting level 2 setups. But first, let's take a look at the context of this chart. VVOS was on an absolute tear. Before pre-market or in pre-market, it was at $1. Right? And we just put in higher lows, higher lows, higher lows the whole way. This blue line, that's the 20 SMA. So every time that this pulled into the 20 SMA, it got a nice rip up, pulled into the 20 SMA, got a nice rip up. So really, really strong stock. And that's important to remember as we get further into this video. But just remember, really strong stock, holding the 20 EMA and doing so for about an hour and a half, 2 hours now. So coming into the open's right around here. We just started halting around. We just started halting up, halting down, eventually halt all the way up. And we're putting a high a day very close to $3. And I know a lot of traders were watching a few things. They were probably watching the EMAs, the 20 EMA or the 20 SMA specifically, but also that high a day break, that high a day break, and then the whole dollar break of $3. A lot of traders were anticipating this. It could have given a really nice pop through that high a day. So let me start this clip and we're going to watch the level 2 over here, or the price ladder as we call it. And I want you to pay attention to 275. This level is going to become very important as we trade down into 275. Coming down into 275, I'm going to pause the video as soon as we get there. Okay. We're now at 275, and what you see is 250,000 shares on the bid. Now, if you're not familiar with level 2, this is an astronomically large order. Orders like this, you have an instant price reaction off of them because they're just so large. They're never going to break on the first time unless whoever has the order out pulls the order. So if they don't cancel the order, this is going to trade immediately away from that. So I'm just going to play the clip and you'll see instantly we're going to see tons of green on the tape over here because buyers realize, wow, we have huge bid support at 275. I'm buying this thing. An order of that magnitude should immediately, it should give a nice pop, maybe not through high a day, but it should give a really nice pop, at least 10 to 15 cents. So let's see what this one does here. I'm going to fast forward. Actually, I'm not going to fast forward. Let it play out. And what's interesting is even with an order of that size at 275, we actually trade back into 275 fairly quickly without giving a massive pop. And so, I'm in this. I actually got out of my position there because I'm like, we shouldn't have traded back into that so quickly. And you'll see that order actually got, we had a 99,000 share seller. Again, these are huge order sizes that we hadn't really seen in this whole run up. So that's very, very interesting. I'm going to change the playback speed to 25% here so we can get a better look at this. Now watch the bid, right? Because we had this huge seller, 99,000 shares. And it is very rare to see a bid like that break so quickly. So that's very interesting. That's something to note. Like, wow, that was a lot of selling pressure right there. Notice 100,000 shares being sold into 275. So now we have 100 shares. One represents 100 shares sitting at 275. We're seeing all this red. Why is it not breaking? Why is 275 not breaking? And now look what we have. Again, we have another bid. So after buying 250,000 shares, someone had a hidden buy order, and now they've placed another 150,000 shares onto the bid. Now, if you thought just seeing the order once was bullish, the fact that they've placed it again after buying that many shares is so incredibly bullish. It's probably one of the most bullish level 2 setups that exist, that are out there, just straight up. So when you see this should immediately pop. It should immediately give a 10 to 15 cent pop, and it should go through high a day. It should go through high a day. It should go through $3. There is a huge buyer sitting at 275. So I'm going to take this back up to full speed so we can watch what happens. You can see immediately it gives the 15% or the 15-cent pop, and then we just kind of chop around here. We'll see more green here. Again, this is where it should just go. It really should have just went there. It had trouble at that 292 level. And I'm just going to fast forward the clip here. This is 5 seconds at a time, so you can kind of see what it does. Very interesting that we've even pulled back this far. I mean, with an order like that at 275, you got to think, okay, if I want to take this through 296, if I want to take this through 3, where can I get 1-to-1 risk to reward against that 275 level? Well, the answer is probably around like 288. 288 to 285. I mean, 285 is great risk to reward against that buyer at 275. So the fact that we're even trading below or at these levels is very surprising and telling. And we're actually going to trade way lower. I'm going to skip forward, and I think we end up actually coming all the way back down to 275. So there's one concept that I got from Peter Resnicek. Great YouTuber. He trades options, but nonetheless, the concept applies here, and that is when what should happen doesn't, right? What should have happened is what I said before. We should have got that 15-cent pop, but then we should have broken high a day. We really shouldn't have pulled back much. We should have consolidated, tons of volume, pop through high a day, pop through $3. That's what should have happened. And if you haven't been trading long enough, you haven't seen this enough times, you might not know that that's what should happen. But I'm telling you, 95% of the time, that is what's going to happen. That is absolutely what should happen in this scenario, and it wasn't. So when what should happen doesn't, what didn't happen is we didn't pop through high a day. So what's that telling me? That's telling me, wow, this is actually weaker than I thought. And likely what we have is that buyer there at 275 pumping that order up and pumping the stock up so that it can just sell shares all up here. And were they able to sell over 500,000 shares, because they bought 500,000 down here? Were they able to sell that many up here with that kind of strength? Probably. If you look at the volume down here, it was trading 1 million shares a minute. So I think it's possible that they could have sold that many shares. And you'll see that this actually holds up at 275 for quite a while. I'll just skip forward in the video, and you can just see how long they held it in this range up here before it never cracked high a day, and then it dumped through 275. So as far as shorting, I don't short. I don't locate shares. I don't have a way to locate shares. Otherwise, I might have shorted this. But as far as how to execute on that, well, I think when this doesn't happen, when you don't go through high a day, I think you could probably short the pops and then place your risk just above high a day, just above that $3 level. And if it does trigger you out, if it does stop you out, then just wait for the swipe, right? Because it could definitely go through high a day, go through $3, swipe up, take out all those stop losses, and then come right back down. And if it does that, obviously just be quick to re-enter. Otherwise, you could wait for the break at 275. But if you're the last one in, you're probably not going to get filled for a while, because it's a painted level. So we call it painted level because we have that level 2 order that's been sitting there, and they're painting 275. Where are buyer stop losses going to be? 275. So when you break 275, you're going to get a big flush. And I'll just fast forward to clip. This actually flushed down into a halt at 269. Anyway, that's the video. I hope this information is interesting, helpful for you guys. If you think so, then toss me a like. Let me know in the comments. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.